03717223344. United fans, are you heading for an early exit from the Champions League? Is it time for Erik Ten Hag to come under further scrutiny? There'll be one or two people who think that maybe he's not up to the job, but I think that's probably a little bit of a knee-jerk reaction. You can't keep chopping and changing managers. That's been the problem for them, isn't it?
No, I don't think he's in danger of losing his job, but he's definitely under pressure, Sam. I mean, you listen to them press conferences after the game now, and it's like a broken record now. Support, the players have got my support, the players this. Sort these players out because they're not playing well enough. You look at yesterday, Varane doesn't look like the same Varane that Real Madrid had. Even Paul Scholes on punditry duty said the same. Yeah. His legs look like they've gone. Doesn't look like he's got the pace anymore. Always injured. Lindelof is soft. Dalot can't defend. Casemiro started the game well yesterday, but gets overrun again against that Galatasaray midfield. The only plus at the moment for Manchester United is the star up front. Mistakes. The star up front, Højlund.
Yeah, he's got a great goal, didn't he? When he picked the ball up from just inside his own half, and he showed raw speed, strength and power to get right into the opponent's half, and lovely little finish at the end. You would have been proud of that, just to think it over the top of the goalkeeper.
I'd kick the floor, I think. There would have been there would have been great turf that come up with if I tried that.
But Ten Hag has to be responsible for some of these failings because of the fact that Manchester United has spent a hell of a lot of money on his watch, but also that a lot of the signings, 2/3 of them have either played for him before or they've been recruited after he's seen them in the Eredivisie. And as a result of that, you can tell that the responsibility for at least initiating some of those moves comes from him. He's wanted some of these players. But you're in a situation, and look, they've been unlucky with injuries because they've had Luke Shaw and Malacia both picking up an injury at the wrong time, and Wan-Bissaka, which means they haven't been able to shuffle Dalot across to left back and play Wan-Bissaka at right back. But you're playing Sofian Amrabat in his first 3 games for the club at left back. Out of position. Yes. So he's just come to a brand new club. First of all, why are you waiting to the final day of the transfer window to get that deal done? That's something that should have been done earlier in the transfer window. You paid 77 million for Højlund, but let's be clear, he was available a year ago from Sturm Graz. If you'd done your scouting properly, and you're Manchester United, you've got the biggest scouting network in the world, which you should have if you're Manchester United. Of course. You should be identifying the best of the talent for 17 million quid. Rashford's not playing very well. He was fantastic last season, but for whatever reason this season, he looks like he's thinking about every decision he makes in the final third 3 times before he executes it. I mean, when he gets into the penalty area and tries to square it for Bruno Fernandes, I mean, I don't know what he was trying to do, but he didn't get that simple pass right. So there's a multitude of different problems, but ultimately, I don't think anyone can say this is not Erik Ten Hag's team now.
This is 100% his team. He spent 422 million, 3 transfer windows. He joined the club May 2022. This is his team. And when you spend that sort of money, you make big decisions. Ronaldo left was the right decision, I thought. The decision with taking the captaincy off Maguire, big decision. Sancho situation, big decision. You only get away with these big decisions, Sam, if you're winning games. When you start losing, like Manchester United have lost now, I mean, they've lost, is it 6 games, 7 games this season?
The worst thing is that people are saying it's the worst start in 34 years. And there's a few columnists who've been close to Manchester United for a long time saying, hold on a second. When people tell you that it's the worst start in 34 years, go back to 1989 and have a look at the characters that were in that squad. The likes of Brian Robson and Gary Pallister and Steve Bruce. It may have been that they weren't performing at their top potential at that time and no one knew what was to come subsequently. But they always cared. They always looked as if that they were in a game and it really mattered to them. It doesn't feel like that now. Whether or not that's right, listen, I'm sure that all of those players really want to do the best job possible for Manchester United. I'm under no doubt about that. But for whatever reason, it's just not clicking. And no one, including Erik Ten Hag, who's actually put his hands up a couple of weeks ago and said, I don't know why we're conceding so many goals, can seem to put their finger on it. Can you?
Poor defending. Let's not beat around the bush. Onana, Casemiro pass is not on. Everyone can see that. You see the camera angle from behind the goal. To find Casemiro, he's got to dink it over the Galatasaray player. It's not on. Why are you playing it? Too relaxed, too casual. Trying to be Ederson when maybe you're not as good on the ball as Ederson is. Casemiro gets out overrun in the midfield game after game. Happened again yesterday. Immature second yellow, which cost your team. let him go and shoot. You can't make an impact.
Wasn't that a challenge he had to make?
No, because you're in the box. You know now if you catch a player in the box, it's going to be a yellow card. You're on a yellow already. It's not your mistake. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes players make a mistake and they're like, "Oh, I've got to get that. It's worth the penalty or the sending off." No, it's a poor pass to you. It's not on. Let Onana make the save. You know, he's made a mistake. Let him make the save. You aren't sent off. You stay in the game. Maybe Manchester United go on to win. You know, you get sent off, misses the penalty, but your team's still got a quarter of the game left to play with 10 men.
It's amazing how good some of these players have been elsewhere. When you look at Varane and his Champions League records, Casemiro and his Onana last season playing in the Champions League semi-finals, or in the final for Inter Milan last year, and being so good. And then for whatever reason, Manchester United just hasn't started as well for him. Different environment, different type of football. Obviously, there's a speed and tempo. The Premier League is slightly different, but 2 Champions League games now for Andre Onana and 2 big mistakes.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.